Hey, everybody, Reverend Terrence McKinley, Director of Racial Justice at Sojourners, and it's great to be coming to you during this Black History Month. In just a few weeks, we will commemorate the 57th anniversary of the March Across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama. The story of that day should always be retold and never forgotten. Hundreds of church people gathered together in prayer at a local AME church, and after they got up from their knees, they rose to their feet and began to march in public witness. A young John Lewis was among the leaders of the demonstration for voting rights who was there, and that protest was initially against the killing of a young Black church deacon, Jimmy Lee Jackson, by an Alabama state trooper. What started out as a day of agency and peaceful protest and resolve ended with Lewis and others being beaten and almost killed. Photos of Amelia Boynton Robinson left for dead in the street shook a nation, and that day became etched in our national history as Bloody Sunday. John Lewis once profoundly said that every generation leaves behind a legacy. What that legacy will be is determined by that generation. And during this Black History Month, as we continue to witness an unprecedented assault against American democracy aimed at making it more difficult for people to vote, there is no issue more important to our democracy than voting rights. Since 2020, over 400 new voter restriction laws and proposals have been forwarded in 49 states. We now face the twin challenges of voter suppression and election subversion, and we must pass legislation that protects the right to vote, because we know that as people of faith, every person is created in the image of God, is worthy of dignity, value, and respect, and their voice should be heard and their vote should be counted. The legacy of a generation is determined by that generation, is what Lewis said. And generations before us made advances in this nation, and we would not be where we are had they not marched and protested and pushed forward with their sheer will and faith. But that's their legacy. What will be our legacy? Will we press our nation to become as good as its values? We have an obligation to those who came before us and those who will come after us to do our part today.